Hey Booktube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Books I'm Not Reading. I'm so happy that it's Friday and I get to hang out with you guys. Somebody mentioned liking the background, and so I decided that I would just do that again this time. I'm just sitting on the floor of the library. So a couple things. I want to start off with shout outs for two channels. The first one is a brand new channel, and that is Charlotte at Zoo Books. She has done the Booktube newbie tag, but she also did her favorite books from 2021. Charlotte lives in Zurich, and yeah, she reads things in English. She reads things that are translated into French or written in French. So yeah, I get the sense that a lot of you would really like the kinds of things that she's reading. And she's very personable. Yeah, she seems very comfortable in front of the camera. I don't know if that's true or not, but anyway, so definitely please go and check out Charlotte's channel, Zoo Books. The other one is also an international booktuber, and I have talked about her before, but like she stopped her channel for a while and then she started it up again. So if you haven't heard me talk about Laura, her channel is Laura on Air, and she's just doing a whole variety of things. Laura lives in Italy, outside Milan. She did this incredible vlog before Christmas of like the Christmas decorations, and then of course like the super famous cathedral in Milan is included, and she's like, oh, I just wish there had been snow, and I'm like, it was still pretty freaking beautiful. So anyway, sometimes she has footage of her cat, Odino, who's a Maine Coon cat, and she has this incredible garden, and also she like loves amazing books. She reads in Italy she reads in Italian as well as English. Really likes Virginia Woolf. So both these channels are totally worth checking out. And so I hope you will do so. I will link to them down below. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do before we get into reading is to solve the mystery that some of you pointed out to me in my Booktube Spin video. And oh, look, the same picture. This is published by Picador, Blood Horses, and Lord of Misrule is published by Vintage Contemporaries. So I don't know if those companies are connected, but this is, you guys were right. It's the same photo. Those were not my Booktube Spin kind of wins, if you will. So this is my first Booktube Spin, and I got a little carried away because not only did I number them, like I randomly numbered them. So like there wasn't like 1 through 5, like the first 5 books weren't 1 through 5. Like I took sticky notes on the back, and had the number on them. So the 2 books from my Booktube Spin list are The Women's Room by Marilyn French, which, guys, it's really dense. I'm very scared. And the other one is Lessons from Lucy by Dave Barry. So truthfully, if I can get through one of these books by the end of March, I'm going to count that as a win. So I have some other things going on in my reading life that I'm not ready to discuss yet, but it is it's just been really challenging. I was really busy at work, and then yesterday was just a colossally, not colossally, I don't want to exaggerate. Like, I was sick, we had a flat tire, the cat, you know, he's being so sweet and trying to comfort me, and then like he throws up all over the bed. And so it was just one of those things where you're like, oh my God. And I was sick yesterday in the way that like I could look around and go, oh, the laundry needs to be done and the dishes need to be put away and the dirty dishes need to be put in the dishwasher, and I can see everything, but I just did not have the energy. I did not have the capacity to do any of it. I couldn't even read, which just sucked. Made me so angry. So, since last Friday, what have I been reading? I finished Macbeth by William Shakespeare, and I actually enjoyed this. I did also watch with Jason the Michael Fassbender and Marion Cotillard film adaptation, and that is very bloody and very violent. And there's a new movie coming out. I think Jason and I are going to watch it this weekend. It's called The Tragedy of Macbeth. It's got I think Denzel Washington and Frances McDormand in it. So I think we're gonna watch that this weekend. I think that's on the plan. But I also just saw a review of Macbeth on Jordan Parsons' channel, so I will try to remember, Jordan, to link to that down below. And some of the things he was talking about I thought were really, really interesting. Some of his ideas about sleep in Macbeth I found really fascinating, and I hadn't thought about it. And that's what I love about Shakespeare, is like there's always more. Like there's always just another layer, another level, another theory, whatever the case may be. So anyway, so yeah, I feel good. Like I started off the year with a Shakespeare play. This is so not me like several years ago. And then, oh my gosh. Okay, so Taking Tea with Catherine is doing an event this month that is like reading books about books in January. And so I not only had 2 books about books, but they both take place in Paris. And I had a fiction, I had a novel, and I had a nonfiction book. So I started with the novel, which is one of the few books I bought last year, Paris by the Book by Liam Callanan. And I will tell you, when you wake up at 3:42 in the morning and you can't go back to sleep and you're exhausted, but you're just like, I just want to finish this book. And here's, I won't go into great depth about it. Like, I had just so many problems with this book. I'm not really sure what to do. Normally, I would say, do any of you want this book? But like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I did not like it. I think he totally blows over how difficult it is to move to Paris and get a job and find a place to live and get your kids enrolled in school. Like, and the only books that are ever discussed like in a meaningful way are children's books. One of them is The Red Balloon, and the other one is the Marilyn books. And don't get me wrong, like, I love Marilyn, but there is so much more to Paris when it comes to books than those 2 things. So yeah, this was a big disappointment. If one of you out there does want this, like, let me know in the comments section if there's a slew of people who want it after that terrible review. I think though, like, I was so disappointed because I look at this book and I'm like, this is a book for me. Like, it takes place in or part of it at least takes place in Paris. There's a bookstore. Like, that sounds fantastic. I've been to Paris twice, and one of those times I was actually able to be there, not totally, but almost by myself. And I just walked around. Literally for 2 weeks. I just walked around Paris. It was fantastic. And there's so many little bookstores and coffee shops and churches and just there's just beauty everywhere you look. So Anyway, okay, so I started, though, on a positive note. I started reading Time Was Soft There by Jeremy Mercer. And the subtitle, it's a memoir, and this is A Paris Sojourn at Shakespeare and Company. And again, like, I look at this cover and I'm like, books? There's a cat? Granted, it's cat butt, but you know, there's only so much you can do. And I've wanted to read this book for so long. It has been on my TBR, and one of you, I don't know how you figured it out, but one of you sent it to me. And yeah, I was so just blown away and excited. So I'm only 20 pages into this book, this pretty short book. But I am already, it is already such a better reading experience than Paris by the book. It starts off, Jeremy Mercer is a Canadian, and he is a crime reporter. And I once, long ago, I was a journalist, and he talks about being a crime reporter. And I mean, he actually went to the lengths of eventually writing like true crime books and things like that. But you know, when you cover that every day, like, you have to find some kind of coping mechanism. And sometimes that results in, you know, people having like morbid senses of humor, or like you start hanging out with like maybe not the best folks because they're the ones who can like tip you off to the story so that you don't get beat by the competing newspaper. So there's just so much at the beginning, even before he gets to Paris, that I really identified with. So anyway, so I'm looking forward to spending hopefully a lot of time with this book this weekend. All right. Oh my gosh, Booktube, what a week it was. So I have a 3-day weekend. I am going to try to set an ambitious reading goal. I'm not going to say what it is because ambitious is different for all of us, and not everyone has a 3-day weekend. All right, Booktube, tell me what you are reading this weekend, and if you have like maybe a longer weekend, how you plan to spend that. If you have any thoughts on any of my books or my first Booktube Spin. Oh, I wanted it to be poetry in middle grade. I wanted 2 tiny things because I did not include books that were part of my February TBR. That's a fairly good sized pile, and so I'm not really sure how I'm going to squeeze in those books, but that's okay. It's okay. I'm going to try, and I love the whole idea of it. It was very fun, and it was fun to see so many of you, especially on Instagram, showing pictures of your stack. Blue, what are you doing? Blue's down here. Blue, do you want to say hi? Come here. Oh, come here. Oh, look at this. Look at this baby. Oh, and he's going to bite me, okay? All right, maybe that wasn't such a great idea. Anyway, Booktube, I would love to hear what you are reading and how things are. Blue, I'm sorry. How things are in your world. Some of you I know are going through some really difficult times, and I am thinking of you and hoping to hear from you and just hoping things are getting better. Booktube, remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I will talk to you soon.